Pokemon antagonists are a major importance to the games as they can literally make or break the main story. Take a second to imagine Gen 5 without Getsis. Yeah, you literally can't. But have you ever wondered if you took all of the antagonists from all of those games and put them into one tournament, who would end up being victorious? Well, that's what we're gonna find out in today's video. Stay tuned. The game starts off at the Silphco in Kanto as Giovanni is confronted by Red, then he gets Thanos snapped. Next, we venture to Hoenn on the Seafloor Cavern, where we get both perspectives of our main character against their respective antagonists, and they get Thanos snapped too. After that, we move to the Spear Pillar in Sinnoh. Yo, is that Cyrus? Yeah, I'm a big fan. Oh, okay, I guess he gets Thanos snapped too. Okay, honestly, I think we get what's gonna happen from now on. So yeah, they do it to Getsis and Lysander. I mean, let's just get it over with. Interestingly enough, in this game, instead of choosing Lusamine, the game opts to choose Guzma instead. And after he gets snapped, they choose to stray from the obvious path yet again and choose Piers instead of Rose. I actually find this decision very funny since Piers is so out of place here, he isn't even on the same area as everyone else when he gets teleported.
Something ain't right.
And funnily enough, I don't think this ever gets explained. Like literally, I feel like the game creator just likes Piers, and honestly, that's kind of based. After everyone finally calms down after being teleported from their inevitable demise to a 10-year-old, we get confronted by the person that teleported us here. He explains that he has gathered all the villains here in order to participate within a tournament in order to find the strongest one. And Piers still doesn't know why he's here.
Look, it wasn't me.
Then we're brought to a character selection screen, and let me know which one of these villains you'd play as or are your actual favorite villain, because for me, it probably would be Getsis. Dude's actually a monster. Not only does he abuse Pokemon, he abuses his child, bro. Like, Jesus Christ, a double whammy? I choose my villain, and I am brought to a room in order to select my team of 6, and oh my lord, is this roster stacked. End up choosing Hydreigon, of course, as that is Getsis' signature, along with Volcarona, Toxicroak, Bisharp, Seismitoad, and Aerodactyl. Oh, and did I mention that we have a Mega Ring too? Yeah, we're a little bit broken. After talking to everyone and witnessing Guzma literally take a nap moments before he's probably going to self-destruct and never be seen again, we begin the tournament. First battle is against Maxi, who leads off with his signature Camerupt, which, surprise, surprise, is a Mega. I use U-turn to pivot into Seismitoad and end up getting sent straight to the next realm. But guess who didn't? The Toter. That's who. I body that nerd with the Scald, and then in comes Mightyena. I switch to Toxicroak and get hit with a nasty Intimidate. I'm feeling myself a little bit though and decide, hey, why not go for a Swords Dance? Because what's the worst that can happen, right? I one-shot the Mightyena with a nice little Drain Punch, and in comes Crobat. Now tell me why in any world I believed a +1 Toxicroak would beat a Crobat with a non-stab Sucker Punch? Well, I mean, I still did it, and yeah, it kind of trolled me a little bit, then beat me with Brave Bird. I sent out Aerodactyl and packed bro like a literal hot pocket. In comes Houndoom, and literally the exact same thing happens to it, but this time Die Edition. Next up is a Macargo, which I one-shot with Earthquake, and Maxi's final mon is a Weezing, which I beat down with Full Corona. Quite the easy first match for us, and again, I won't lie, Getsis' team is a little bit broken. After defeating Maxi, he attempts to persuade or capture into letting him go, so basically we can all team together, but gets denied before he can even begin his statement, and he dies. Yeah, that's right. Maxi is dead. Our next opponent in the tournament is Giovanni. He leads off with his signature Persian, which decks my Hydreigon in the forehead with a gunk shot for some reason. I don't think that was your best move, bud. I beat it in a few dark pulses, and in comes Rhyperior. I match his switch with my Seismitoad, which beats him down with the Scald. Oh, in hindsight, I probably should have put this game on set mode, but I mean, it's a little late now. Next up is Crocodile, which surprisingly gets us pretty low with a few Stone Edges, but I still managed to beat it with some Scalds. He switches into Nidoking, which kills my Seismitoad, so I switch into Mega Aerodactyl, who kills it in 2 Earthquakes. In comes Nidoqueen, which takes a couple more Earthquakes than Nidoking, but still goes down with relative ease. Giovanni's final Pokemon is Mega Garchomp, which does survive an Ice Fang from Aerodactyl somehow. And then he drops a Draco straight on Ordome, but we barely live on 1 HP. I'm making a necessary risk using Ice Fang again because I'm built wrong, and there we go. That's the battle. After defeating Giovanni, we find out that our next opponent is actually Cyrus, which is going to be quite the battle indeed. But before that, apparently we're going to spice up the final match a little bit more, as the mystery man gives us 25 legendary balls. and then we just teleport right in front of Zekrom. Quite interesting they chose Zekrom instead of like Kyurem, but I guess this is supposed to be Pokemon Black or like Pokemon White gets this, so I guess it makes sense. Now, I won't lie, I make a little bit of a mistake here. I actually catch the Zekrom. Now, I thought I could go back to the Pokemon room and maybe readjust my team a bit to fit it, but no, I was forced to put the Zekrom on my team, and for team balancing purposes, I replaced Hydreigon. I mean, Zekrom's cool, but come on, bro. Hydreigon, my little baby. Our final battle against Cyrus begins as he leads off with Honchkrow into my Zekrom, and then he dies. He then goes to Weavile, so I go into Volcarona, and I get a little cheeky with it, so I go for a Quiver Dance, and then I kill it. He then switches into Crobat, and I regret not going for an extra 1 or 2 QDs as it murders me with Brave Bird. Then I go into Zekrom, and it gets off a nasty Super Fang, and I miss a Bolt Strike, then it flinches me with Dark Pulse. I'm like, damn, bro, that was a little unnecessary. I mean, I'm able to kill it with a Bolt Strike after he heals for some reason, but my god, like, why did it do all of that? And comes the legendary that Cyrus caught, which was a Dialga, which decides to start spamming Aura Sphere on my Toxicroak instead of literally any other move. So I just beat it with Drain Punch. After the easiest legendary battle of my life, Probopass comes in. Now, I hit this with a Drain Punch, he goes for Zap Cannon and it misses, and you know, it's just another easy kill. Now, if you thought this battle would actually be that easy, well, I got something to show you as the true boss monster comes out. This is Cyrus's Gyarados. It Mega Evolves and then it kills Zekrom. Now, maybe if the stupid bat didn't somehow beat a Thunder God, this wouldn't have happened. I go to Toxicroak and I didn't even break half of its HP with Drain Punch, and I just died to an Earthquake. So at this point, I'm starting to get a little nervous here, and I just hope that Seismitoad doesn't have Water Absorb. I didn't even check if it did, because if I don't see it, then obviously it's gonna be exactly what I want. Right? I go for Toxic, but it literally just starts using me to set up Dragon Dances, and then it heals the Toxic off once it gets low. I miss my next Toxic, and this sucker goes for more Dragon Dances. At this point, I mean, I've kind of just given it up. Cyrus got it, bro. Like, he's the strongest villain at this point. But I still keep it pushing. I die, but at this point, Gyarados is at half HP and a few turns down on Toxic. I have 2 Mons left at this point, and if I could get a decent amount of chip before a Mon dies, I might be able to have it. I go into Aerodactyl, and I die to Crunch, but at this point, my last Mon's Bisharp. And for some reason, he decides to go for Crunch, and I live. I go for Swords Dance because I'm a little crazy like that. And after Toxic, he's now on red HP. So here's the scary part. If I Sucker Punch and he heals, well, I lose the game. But then again, if he heals, I lose period. So like, I'ma just attack it and win. Woohoo! The game isn't over yet, as the man that kidnapped us from our respective games has revealed himself to be none other than Faba from Pokemon Ultra Sun, or just the whole Sun and Moon franchise. Honestly, I didn't even play those games yet. He managed to obtain the Pokemon Hoopa somehow, and for some reason didn't anticipate us, you know, the literal psychopathic, narcissistic terrorists, to want it for ourselves. Like, come on, bro, there's no way you planned this whole thing out, got this whole area made, and you didn't think, man, what if they just don't want to help me? So we battle for the rights to own Hoopa. Faba leads off with a Hypno, and I'm like, wait a minute, the hell is this gonna do to my mouth, bruh? So I set out Volcarona, get to +5 on Quiver Dance, and I literally sweep his entire team. Yeah, I'm actually not joking. That's the final match. That's the final battle for the whole video. That's it. It all ended with the bug. Woohoo! We take the bottle straight from Faba, and then we push him into the void, and there's the game. Be sure to check the link down in the description to play this game yourself with whichever villain you want. I actually really enjoyed making this video, so if you want to see more content like this, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. Anyways, new videos every week, so stay tuned. Bye, y'all.